happy birthday to him, those Worcester fans. Just a few moments ago, Rob and I are in commentary position now. Let's get straight into the starting lineups for the two teams. And the big news for Bristol, Daniel Edozie, their captain, who's been struggling with a bit of an injury. They always expected him to be back. He is back. He's in the starting lineup.
Yeah, and they're going to need him on the backboards today, no doubt. When you look at Bristol, they rebound really well. Edozie's an excellent rebounder. Raphael Thomas, Edwards, Del Pesh, but the backcourt, Gentry Thomas and Fred Thomas. We'll be talking about them a lot today. They take a lot of shots for them, the majority of the shots, and both can be explosive in many ways.
Let's have a look at the Worcester lineup that will start this cup final for them, and concerns over Amir Williams and Jordan Williams, both of those into the starting lineup for them. Cortez Edwards, he had a great game in the semi-final against you.
Well, Vince referenced it right off the top. Cortez Edwards, one of the better players in the league. When you watch him on film, and we've watched a lot of them, he does everything both ends of the floor. But with Amir Williams back in, that's going to be important today. 4 offensive rebounds a game in the time he has played, but he also is the type of guy that can really shut down the opposition on the defensive end.
Well, two teams who are delighted to be here. Obviously, Worcester had a rough old time of it last season, but a team that has been to finals before. 3 times they've been to a final. They lost here a couple of years ago. For Bristol, this is the first time out.
Yeah, you can tell the fans are excited from both sides. And when you look on the floor, there's not many players that have been in finals either. And, you know, the 2 coaches never in a BBL final. So it really sets up today for an exciting experience. And I think that it'll be interesting to see how everyone reacts and how they adjust. I heard Coach Newby at the end of the interview talking about making adjustments. And in finals play, you don't have a lot of time. If things aren't going well, you have to switch to a different direction.
Well, Raheem May Thompson, probably the only one with any real finals experience, will come off the bench for the Wolves. He played 25 minutes here a couple of years ago, beating Worcester with the Cheshire Phoenix. He did play with you guys, but was a DMP in 3 finals, and Josh Rogers was in a couple of finals, but only managed 7 minutes last year. So very much a new experience for both sets of players as we get the cup final underway, and it is the Flyers who will get the first possession, and Lewis Champion has the ball in his hands. Here's Thomas. Kick down. Rebound pulled in by Williams. He's a big presence in there.
He is, and I think you got looking to attack him early on the pick and roll. Did a good job that time.
Edwards trying to post up Jordan Williams. Out to Amir Williams, and he rattles one in for the first points of the game.
Well, Jordan Williams is a guy that really can create a lot of space down there, and they sat off of Amir Williams, and he got the bank to go down for the first 2.
Here's Gentry Thomas driving into the basket, gets all the way there, and he has his first point.
He's slippery on that pick and roll, and Amir Williams is going to have to show a little higher on him, because if he gets going to the basket, he's tough to stop.
Hughes working the pick and roll with Williams. Fires up from the elbow and strings his first shot.
He's played well as of late, Hughes. He doesn't take the most shots on the team, but he's been very efficient so far this season.
Well, a quick pass down court through the hands of Thomas Edwards. These teams like to make it difficult for the commentators with 2 Thomases and a Thomas Edwards and 2 Williams all out there at the same time. Here's Edwards. Hughes now. Backman's passes deflect, but it still gets to his desired into edge, and that's what Edwards can do. He can attack.
Yeah, he can hesitate, and then explode to the basket. Only about 6'1", but he really can get up in the air. That time, great finish.
Edozie, the Flyers captain, hands it off to Fred Thomas. His shot is blocked by Williams. Ball is loose. Gentry Thomas comes up with it. Step back 3, knocks it down. It's difficult to guard that shot.
The tougher the shot sometimes, the better for Gentry Thomas. We just saw it recently. He went off in a game against us, and early he looks confident and ready to roll.
Edwards. Down to Williams. Squares up to Edozie. Now looks to back him down. Goes the long way around. Nice finish off the glass.
Good patience with that right hand. He likes to stay on that right, and he did a good job of not rushing that. Good start from Williams.
Champion with the handoff to Thomas. And again with the step back three. That one's short. I'm not sure if the little fingertip of that from Boutnet. Well, it's been a pretty up-tempo start here as Jordan Williams leaves that one short. Champion driving through the lane under pressure. Edwards gets into the mid-post, can't knock it down. Suddenly the points have dried up after a hot start by both teams. Pass deflected away. Fred Thomas keeps it in bounds. Thomas driving in, that's an offensive foul. Good stand.
Yeah, great job by Worcester there. Cortez, Edwards, and Hughes had the ability there to stay and keep their guy in front of them. They were dancing, and that time you see he comes over and he helps out. Cortez gets beat, but that's always nice when you play on a team. That's okay. If you beat me, beat him, I'll come over, help you out, and that's what Hughes did that time. He's been a good defensive player so far this season for Worcester.
Here's Williams. A little fall away, nice shot.
You know, that time he went the other way, and if he's hitting fadeaways and bank shots off the window, maybe you have to call timeout and figure out what to do.
Well, we do have our first timeout of the game so far, with Worcester leading by 5 points here in the opening exchanges, and it felt like the two teams were just sizing each other up, but in the last couple of minutes, points have felt a little bit easier for Bristol than they have for Worcester.
Well, yeah, look at Amir Williams. He has 6 so far. Here's a guy who missed a lot of time, and not only does he put the points on the board, but he's down there around the basket, making it difficult for Bristol to get close. And that'll be interesting to see today. Can Bristol attack the rim with Amir in the game? When you play against Worcester, you know he's not going to come out too high on the pick and roll. He's going to sit in there and try to make it as difficult as possible.
Well, Coach Kapoulis, the jacket has come off already. I can't remember seeing him in a suit before, so I was impressed with the suit and tie.
Yeah, I asked him last time we played, can we see a suit, please? Let's see a suit. And he is wearing it well over there, looking sharp, and obviously a huge day for him. A huge day for Coach Newby. These two guys have certainly put their time in all around English basketball, British basketball. But now to see them here coaching in a final with 2 huge fan bases behind them, that's what it's all about. And I think everybody around the league is excited about these two guys getting the opportunity to coach in here today.
Well, I touched on it in the interviews, but they did meet when Matt Newby was at Leeds Carnegie in NBL 1. It's Adozi tries to throw it down. And it's off the back of the iron. And that's going to be a foul. Will it count? No, it won't. It'll be 2 shots. But as I was saying, they met in the National Cup final, as we take another look back at this one. And it was back in 2013. And Leeds came from behind to beat Bristol by 2. They were down 12 points in the 4th quarter, and they came back to win. Henry Wilkins, who Surrey, of course, led that charge, and a big double-double, 20 and 10 for Rob Marsden playing for Leeds on that occasion. And these two guys go a long way back. They had a lot of battles at that time in the early 2010s. In the National Basketball League. Thomas Edwards trying to get the scoreboard ticking. Just gets a roll on the second.
Well, it's interesting coming out of the timeout. Coach Kapoulis drew up a play to go right at Amir Williams with Adozi. Adozi almost got the big one-handed flush. Let's see if they continue to try to attack him.
Well, sometimes the best way of controlling a guy at one end of the floor is get him off the floor. If he's scoring well, get him in foul trouble. There's Boutnet, the Wolves captain, knocking down the jump shot that puts them 6 points clear.
Real steady player for them this year. He has the ability to explode. We saw that last week with close to a 30-piece on the board from him, but also good defender and smart player in the half court.
Not much room along the baseline. In fact, not enough room along the baseline for Thomas Edwards, who's called for out of bounds.
A few turnovers here early for Bristol. And that's the type of turnover you want, though, the one that goes out of bounds. But you don't like a lot of those empty possessions.
You just see that, his foot on the line. And here comes Raheem May-Thompson. And the Worcester fans behind the bench applauding his entrance. I don't think they were doing that 2 years ago.
Looks like there's going to be a post play here for Jordan Williams. He's at the 5 now. And they go to him a lot in the post.
And here he is. Ooh. Here's Kofi Josephs in the corner. Hits the side of the board. He's out of sight. He's going to have another go. And that one's off the back of the iron. 0 for 2 on his first touch. Kofi Josephs. Local kid, of course. Just down the road from here in Birmingham. So a big day for him playing in his hometown in a big final.
No question. There's certainly a lot of people here he will know. Certainly a game when you're playing in the BBL as a Birmingham kid. This is where you want to be. I remember him when I was playing for the Birmingham Bullets. He was a talented young player, even at young ages. So definitely a big day for him out on this court. And he had a couple good looks as he came off the bench, but wasn't able to knock it down.
Well, perhaps a little bit of extra adrenaline. Nice drive inside. That will be a foul, and the basket will count. And he's been aggressive here in the early stages, Thomas Edwards.
Well, that's what he does, Raph. He's a guy that, you know, is a little bit undersized, but really strong and goes right to the rack there. And now with Amir Williams off the floor, you can see maybe it's a little different for Bristol attacking the rim. And Raph finishes there. 9 points per game in his first season. With Bristol, 3 offensive rebounds per game. Real hustle guy for them all year long.
Williams setting the high screen. So to Joseph. Backnet is open, then 3 goes in and out. And a chance for the Flyers to cut yet again. Dancing his way through Thomas to Thomas Edwards. I think, yeah, May-Thompson actually caught him on the arm. I wondered if he got a little bit of the ball, but it's a foul, and again, free throws. That's
where Gentry Thomas is so dangerous. That semi-transition where you're trying to get back, and his hesitation moves get him to the rim, and he found Raphael Thomas Edwards underneath. And as you see here, Amir Williams checks back into the game. 3 possessions, 3 times where they're attacking the rim with him off the floor, so Coach Newby gets him right back in. Now Raphael Thomas Edwards, 82% from the free throw line this season.
Well, he was 1 of 3 before that today, but knocks those 2 down. Here's Edwards. Josephs. Bartlett. Driving baseline. Dumps it off and hammered down by Amir Williams.
That play was made by Bartlett. He is smart. Little up fake, little drive, and if you get Williams that close to the basket, that's going to be the only result there with the jam.
Delpesh trying to bounce it in, and the ball kicked away.
And there you see Amir Williams. He doesn't even come near Delpesh on the perimeter. Delpesh inside the three-point line with the ball, and Amir with that long wingspan staying in the lane. Be interesting to see if they can get him out of that lane, because when he's in there, he's going to clog it up.
Shot clock getting low for Bristol here. Bit of a slip. Delpesh. His shot doesn't go. Ball tipped down. Edwards has it. Edwards, Backnet, all day to set his feet for 3. Just can't get it to drop at the moment from 3-point range, the Wolves.
And they've had some good opportunities. Bristol a little fortunate they haven't hit those.
Fred Thomas way off the mark, but Delpesh with the offensive rebound. He's kind of stuck under the basket. kicks it out in the corner. That's going to be a foul on Fred Thomas for bundling Jordan Williams out of the way.
And there you see again, and I keep harping on it, Amir Williams, they had the offensive rebound underneath the basket. I think it was Delpeche, but he had no thoughts of going back up with it. Made a good pass to kick it back out, but Amir in there, it changes your mind on what you want to do around the rim.
Edwards guarded the length of the floor by Champion. Hughes working the pick and roll with Williams. Goes to Jordan Williams at the top of the key. Now Amir Williams. Hughes. Shot clock down to 4 as he fires up. Good rebound again from Delpeche.
Good D from both teams. Referees letting them play out there, which is nice. They're really competing, physical.
Champion, nice pass just through the hands of Delpeche. Worked the pick and roll well, just didn't hang on to it.
Yeah, you're not going to get a better opportunity than that with Williams away from the basket. Good pass from Champion. Delpeche, who's had a solid season for them, shooting 60% from the field, and that's one of them you expect to put right in the basket.
Bradley into the game for the first time for the Flyers. Here's Hughes. Joseph's running off the screen, fires up the 3. Still can't get one to go. Thomas back to Champion. Bradley squares up to the runner. Difficult one that over Jordan Williams.
Now, if you're Worcester, maybe you want to go to Jordan Williams. Bradley a little light maybe for him.
Or Edwards. Just blocked. Oh, it's blocked by Fred Thomas. Unbelievable challenge at the ring. Here's Delpeche the other way. His layup is batted away by Williams. Wow.
Cortez was looking to throw this one down. He takes off, and Fred Thomas says, how about blocking it with the left hand? What a block to deny the bucket with the left.
And it's plays like that. Just fire a team up. Can they take that momentum to eat away at this 4-point deficit? Taylor trying to lob it into Delpeche. He's under all sorts of pressure. He gets his shot away, but Williams just pulls the ball away from him.
Interesting choice from Williams fronting Delpeche there. Gave up an easy opportunity. I don't know if he wants to do that with his size and length.
Hughes. Out to Joseph. Puts it on the floor this time. Takes the mid-range jumper. Couldn't get the 3 to go, but he knocks down his first 2.
Smart move from him there. Nice little up fake, get himself free, maybe get himself going. Worcester's had some great looks at the basket so far. Only with 16, but you have to like the opportunities that they're getting.
Fred Thomas. Wow. Missing everything. He's a long way off as well.
And you expect Fred Thomas to make those shots. 17 a game for him. Definitely a guy that can be explosive, but they'll keep shooting. I would assume that he's going to get more looks and he's going to keep going. Here's the matchup you think will be pretty good for Jordan.
He's just trying to use his strength to barrel his way past Levi Bradley, who's called for the foul.
Yeah, he's got a lot of size on him there. Be interesting to see if they go right back to him. And that's what makes Jordan Williams tough to guard. You got to guard him with the 4-man with Amir on the floor. Those 2 guys, you know, it's going to be tough for a 4-man to guard.
Williams resets himself. Amir Williams top of the key, back iron.
And that's what Bristol's going to do. They're going to sit off Amir Williams with the help. He's got to make that shot.
Champion under pressure, he's fouled. I don't know why Kofi Josephs did that there, because he was going to heave up a 3.
Well, you could see coming from the bench, they do that. They want to foul to stop him in transition here. Here's where he fouls, and it was never called. And that's what Kofi was talking about, was he gives the foul away here, and then it's called there. So that's why it's a little tricky to do that, because you're hoping the ref calls it at the right time, because if not, you give up 3.
Well, so far, only Gentry Thomas and Raphael Thomas-Edwards have scored for Bristol. Just 2 scorers in the first quarter. Champion trying to become the 3rd, and doing so.
59% from the free throw line this year for Champion. There's a few guys on that Bristol team that you may want to foul late in the game.
He goes 2 or 3. Hughes has a lot of space. He's from just inside his own half and not too far away. A low-scoring first quarter here in the BBL Cup final. We're at the end of 1, and it's the Bristol Flyers 12, the Worcester Wolves 16. And Rob, looking at this first quarter, first couple of minutes, it looked like they were going up and down, finding points easy to come by. It's got a little bit more difficult scoring since then.
It did, no doubt. And I think that if you're Worcester, you're saying, hey, we're getting the good looks. We need to knock them down. And if you're Bristol, you're saying, hey, we didn't play that great that quarter. That wasn't our quarter, but it's only 4 guys, so we're right there. I think now we'll see, who fatigues. A lot of guys playing a lot of minutes. It'll be interesting to see how Coach Newby deals with Amir Williams. He sat out for a long time. What's his game fitness like? But both teams right there. And as I said, I think if you're Bristol, you look at it and you go, we didn't play great, and we're still right there.
Well, it's a tremendous crowd in here today at the Arena Birmingham. Record ticket sales, and it's really part of an ongoing narrative around basketball. It's the fastest growing sport in the UK now, with 1.3 million players playing it, according to Sport England's latest survey. It's now the biggest team sport after football, ahead of rugby and cricket. And I'm sure you see that in Leicester with the growing of your Riders Foundation, the amount of young players coming into the game and playing.
No question about it. You just have to be at the Morningside Arena in Leicester any night during the week to see all the kids playing. Saturday morning, full house, games going on. So yeah, it's remarkable, the rise of basketball, and I think that it's going to keep going. You see the enthusiasm for people playing the game, how much they enjoy it, and also the support that the parents are giving up and down the country.
And that's the other thing you get, is because you have a venue like that. I was up in Newcastle a few months ago on a Saturday morning. Hundreds of kids, exactly the same, in the Eagles Community Arena doing their CVLs on a Saturday morning. With the facilities, gives the opportunity for the children to play the game. Here we go then, back underway in the BBL Cup final. And it is the Worcester Wolves who lead and have possession. Jordan Williams. Again, this time trying to go to work on Delpesh. Left the hook a little bit short. He's on the floor, so they have numbers here, Bristol. Although they recovered well. Here's Nichols. Trying to find some room. Lobs it up, and almost for Delpesh underneath.
And that was actually a good look from Jordan Nichols there. Delpesh has had a few opportunities around the rim, and here throws it up. Not able to squeeze it.
Nichols under pressure from the shot clock, gets it away. Unable to convert. Hughes drives along the baseline. Good first step got him to the basket.
And that's what you like about Hughes. He doesn't need the ball a lot. He just plays hard, plays the game, and when he gets his opportunities, he takes them. And that quick first step got him the easy look at the basket.
Here's Nichols, space for 3. Fires it up off the mark. It's a good challenge in the end by Hughes, diving out at him. Putnam. Gonzalez round to Josephs, and just diving out at him was Taylor. Josephs did well, drove past him, took the contact.
Well, when you play Kofi Josephs, you got to get out to that three-point line, and he took advantage of that. They ran at him, and he got by to draw the foul. But one of the most underrated things about Worcester, watching them play, is how good their defense is at the guard position. Balkner, Hughes, and Cortez Edwards do such a nice job back there.
Here's Williams, shot clock at 5. Flop warning coming. And I think there's actually a foul in there on Delpesh after he went down, the use of his feet. He's going to get a flop warning as well.
Yeah, this is an interesting call because, yeah, he gets the flop warning. Now he's in the way. So, like, yeah, I mean, it is a good call because he can't just move his legs and stay in the way. And, that's an advantage. And we've had that recently as well, where a guy falls in the middle of that lane. And he could be a nuisance down there, too.
Buckner into the mid-range jump shot. Well, they're getting in each other's way there, but eventually the Flyers captain gets his hands on the ball. Thomas, Nichols, Taylor. Nichols again to the spin, through the lane, flips it up. Nothing doing.
He's taken 3 shots since he's been on the floor. 3 quick ones from Jordan Nichols.
Hughes attacking hard. Just couldn't quite get that roll. Here's Thomas through the lane, back to Dozy, steps into a 19-foot jump shot.
It's been a while since we can get any kind of flow on the offensive end from either team.
Just 30 points between them so far in the ball game. Hughes fires up for 3, and there's some offense.
He looks good, Hughes. Nice pass across court from Balkner. In the minute it left his hand, it looked good. Excellent rotation from Hughes. He's up to 7.
And the lead is up to 9. Bradley driving it, tipped home by Thomas. That's a delay of game warning. He grabbed the ball afterwards.
And that play was made by Bradley, the lefty. You can't let him go left. He's really tough going left. Lucky he missed it, but Gentry Thomas, for a little guy, does pretty well on those backboards. It's about 2 offensive rebounds a game, and that's what makes Bristol so dangerous, is they don't just offensive rebound from the interior position. The wings and the guards do a good job of crashing the glass as well.
Here's Edwards. Little hesitation, trying to find his way through the lane. Throws it out to Williams. Good move on. Ball is loose, and that's out of bounds. Flyers possession.
That was a good play there. Van Sowers had a good opportunity around the rim. Nice pass from Williams. I'd do better here.
Probably didn't need the bounce, did he?
Straight up.
Little stop and go and attack. Good finish as well from Fred Thomas.
Nice move from Thomas. Took it right at Amir Williams. Amir went straight up, but Thomas created the space in order to finish the deuce.
Edwards. That's us with the crossover, driving through the lane off the glass.
Oh, Van Sowers plays the 4 or the 5, but he's a guy that likes to put it down on the floor. Don't run at him because he can go right by you that time. Nice finish.
Gentry Thomas spinning, finding some space. Wow. There was a little collision after the fact between Bradley and Van Sowers, I think it was, and the referees just say no more of that. Have a look. First of all, this is the one at the other end.
Van Sowers with a good move. Talked about don't run at him because he's really quick with the ball for a big guy. But down at the other end, Gentry Thomas, he's a highlight reel with the kind of finishes he has around the basket, the kind of slippery moves he has.
Williams, almost like a handball player, threw it on to Edwards. Buckner loses it. Bradley kicks it out. Here's Thomas in transition. Fred Thomas going, oh! Goaltend. Ooh, that was close.
Wow. Man.
From
from here. That one was tough to see. Let's see it again. Great play from Van Sowers to get back. Woo! Tricky. I'll leave it to you, Dan.
Oh, that's very tight. There was one early in the season in the Cup, Worcester at home to Surrey it was, where the referee made a call on the buzzer, which essentially decided the game. It was a one-point game, and I went and did a clip of it, and it was literally 1 pixel right. The referee had it right. That one, I'd like to clip that one up as well, because that was very close.
Very close, but great effort from Van Sowers to get back. And both teams playing hard, playing with passion, but really struggling to finish around the rim, fumbling the ball a bit, sloppy. And sometimes that happens in these types of games, especially early. So timeout here. Hopefully they'll settle down and we get more of a flow on the offensive end to this one.
Well, 43 points in 15 minutes is a little bit, it's probably not unusual. If you've been watching Bristol for 15 years, as some of these Flyers fans will have, they enjoy themselves a low-scoring game over the years, although this year their team has such offensive weapons that we've seen some bigger numbers from.
Yeah, both teams will feel fine here. It's, you know, again, Worcester, I believe, needed that timeout. They were getting good looks. Now, maybe that slowed down a little bit. But both teams competing and both teams ready here in the last 5 minutes. These last 5 minutes can be very important to where we stand at the end of today's game.
Wolves with the ball, leading by 3, halfway through the second quarter of the BBL Cup final. Van Sowers inside is fouled by Edozie, and that will be 2.
Nice job out of the timeout from Worcester. Bachnet set a great back screen, and that's underrated as a guard. You got to be a good screener too, and he's the one that set up Van Sowers, and no doubt Edozie with the foul to not allow him to finish around the basket.
Friendly little bounce there on the first free throw.
5 points a game on the season for Van Sowers. 64% from the free throw line.
And you can see why with the second one. Edozie squares up. Now spins round, blocked by Williams. Dozie still has it. No reset of the shot clock though, so they've got to go relatively quick here. Thomas Edwards, time running down, needs to get it off, and it's swatted away. I think it would have been a 24-second violation either way.
Good defense there from obviously Amir from the backside, but Hughes kept them kind of in front, and especially with Amir back there. Okay, big fella, clean it up. Again, Jordan Williams at the 4 against Levi Bradley. And Jordan hasn't really got going yet in this one. See if they go to him now.
Edwards, hand-checking foul on Thomas.
Worcester running a lot of same stuff. A couple different options here and there. They're methodical about the way they run their offense. And not a lot of variation game to game.
Down to Williams, 4 on the shot clock. To the spin and the hook. And I think the pressure of the shot clock forced him to overcook that one. It's Thomas driving in quickly. No way through. 3 of them collapsed on him, foul call.
Let's see that one there. Thought it was pretty good defense on the block.
Foul, I think he's called on Hughes.
Whoa, boy. Man, and you could see the reaction from Hughes. He was stunned. Looked like it was all ball from the backside.
Oh, Fred Thomas missing the front end. Gets the second one to go. 21-24.
Thumbs up call here, looking for the post up, probably for Amir. Bristol knowing the play here, cheating.
And late in the shot clock again here. Williams has to fire up the three on the buzzer. Thomas fouled on the floor.
And that's probably going to be Hughes' second, which is a little unfortunate for him. And that's where that foul before, where he didn't think he committed it, now puts him on the bench with the second. And he's had a pretty good start.
Edwards with the rebound. Back to Joseph, thinks about the three, drives in instead. Blocked by Edozie, who keeps it alive. Here's Edwards. And again, Edozie straight up. Can't defend that any more than he did.
Nice job there. Edwards, good move to the basket. But both teams making it tough when you get near the rim to finish here. Edozie straight up, and Cortez will like to have that one back. He actually made a good move and just missed the layup.
8 on the shot clock. Inbounded to Josephs. Edwards, loads of space for three, knocks it down, and doubles the lead.
Good ball movement. Jordan Williams, no hesitation when it hit his hand. Reversed it quick, and Cortez wide open for the three-point shot.
His Champion driving hard to the hole. Lewis Champion lays it in.
Every now and again, you got to be careful. 7 points a game, but opportunistic baskets, especially downhill left. Nice finish from Champion.
Offensive foul called against Amir Williams. It's his first for the moving screen.
Like to see that one again. I thought the defensive player initiates the contact. Let's see.
A little bit of a hip in there.
Yeah, he moved. Solid call.
Fred Thomas, 4-3. Back iron. Edozie with the offensive rebound. Champion is open. He's going to let it go. In the end, there was a good hand out there. He looked open when he got the ball, but he had to put it up slightly higher than he might have liked, and that's why it fell short.
Comes a Spanish pick and roll here. They run this a lot.
Here's Josephs. Puts it on the floor. Edwards. Comes out to Josephs. He's going to fire this up for three. Kofi Josephs has his first triple of the game.
Those long rebounds, they're tough to get. And that time right to Kofi Josephs when he gets that look. Good look. He's going to knock it down, especially when he's had the opportunities he's had so far tonight.
Well, he missed his first three, but number 4 was good for him. For the number 4. Here's Delpesh. Champion. Got to shoot. Doesn't get it off in time. Shot clock violation.
And there's Delpesh on the baseline. Had a good opportunity, but guess who was standing back there? Amir Williams with him down there. Delpesh kicked it out, and it was too late. Good defense from the Wolves. Good defense throughout the game from them so far, holding them to 23 points.
There's been a few there where they've just so late in the shot clock, and they didn't even seem to realize almost the defense has been that good. Williams at the elbow.
1 minute remaining. First quarter. Bristol pulling with the game in the first half.
Thomas Edwards in the corner. Josephs with the rebound.
Thomas Edwards with the size advantage on Balknet, but took the three, didn't force him into the double team.
Here's Edwards. Gets into the lane and strikes it.
And that's what he does, Cortez. He lets the game come to him. He's so smooth with the ball, and with that explosiveness to go by you, you're worried, and he's able to pull it back and hit the jumper to give the Wolves the 9-point lead.
We don't see too many timeouts at this stage in the game, just before halftime, but after that basket goes in, as you say, down 9, 35 seconds to go. The Flyers, you feel, need a score here just to get them some momentum to go into the locker room.
Yeah, we talked about the last 5 minutes of the half, and if you're Worcester, you're in great position. Obviously, you could be even better here with a stop and a bucket. So big timeout here for both sides. You know, Coach Kapoulis got to try to draw something up to get them an easy hoop and get them some momentum going into the locker room.
Well, just 23 points in the first half for the Bristol Flyers. It's not the lowest in a BBL Cup final. Glasgow only had 20 last year, but it's tough to win games when you're on pace for the mid-40s.
Yeah, no question. I think that's something that will be addressed at halftime, how we can open up the floor and maybe get some better opportunities. But Worcester's been a good defensive team all year, and when #1 is on that floor, you got to try to attack him on the perimeter, because if you go at him inside, he's shown what he can do at that.
Well, there should be one offense each here. And the difference between a stop and a score and a score and a stop would be huge in the context of this game. Here's a Dozy mid-range. He misses, but that's definitely a goaltender. We don't need to see that one again as Thomas Edwards threw it back up.
And that's a huge play there. Shot missed, didn't get the rebound. They went to a Dozy. This is the second time coming out of the timeout they went into him. Now, wasn't able to score, but the offensive rebound from Thomas Edwards, and he's done that a lot this year. You really have to know where he's at, because he never gives up on the play.
Boughton running it down. 6 to go. Inside to Williams, who's fouled, and the basket will count. And sometimes you just got to take your medicine there. Let the big guy score. Don't give him an and one.
Well, there's a different play Worcester ran. This is a play I hadn't seen yet this season. They ran Josephs off the little screen there, and Balknet did a great job of holding on to the ball long enough to give Amir the opportunity to get inside deep. Here's Balknet here with the screen. Hold it, got him. Nice read. And Williams is a strong finisher when he has a little guy on him, especially.
Well, he can't give them a 10-point lead, but they'll be pretty happy with 9 going into the locker room, and it's the Wolves fans who get to their feet slightly quicker than the Flyers fans. Both well represented here, but Worcester, you keep the team to 25 points in the first half of a cup final, you're in great shape.
Yeah, and it's not a surprise for me. When you look at their team, they have some really good defensive players. They play well together defensively, and then with Amir back there, it is almost impossible to get at the rim. So Bristol going to have to go in at halftime, come up with some different ways to spread the floor a little bit, let their guards attack in open spaces.
Well, some work to be done for Coach Kapoulis and his team. We're at the half here at the Arena Birmingham, and it is the Worcester Wolves who lead the Bristol Flyers by 34 points to 25 in a highly entertaining first half. Rob and I are going to take a little pause. We'll be back with you in about 10 minutes' time.
today against Bristol Wolves. Please put your hands together, get your boats ready, and welcome the All-Star Dunkers! Come on now, baby, make some noise for the Dunkers! Here we go!
Let's go, Birmingham.
Remember, boys and girls, do not try this at home. Here we go. Oh, this is great. This is what the BBL Cup is all about. Oh, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The youngsters getting involved. Oh no. Here we go, let's clap it up, boys. Come on, clap, 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 clap. Oh, wonderful stuff in brought to you by the All-Star team. Come on, keep clapping. Is it going? Is it going? Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, to use the hashtag with their content. Want to see some more? Here we go! Come on now! Here we are. Oh no! Oh! Let's do it. Here we go. Hey! Let that one go. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, 360 to finish it off. You know what, ladies and gentlemen, again, we're looking for the loudest part of the arena because who knows what happens to the loudest part of the arena. There may be some gifts coming your way, courtesy of the BBL All-Star Dunkers. Here we go. Uh-oh, who's got one more? Oh no, there's more. No way. He's jumping, isn't he? One more.
Welcome back to Birmingham. It's BBL Cup Finals day. We've had plenty going on. The fans, as you can see, very much enjoying themselves, although perhaps the Worcester fans a little bit more than the Bristol fans, given the scoreline out there. But it's always a tremendous event, and the 9,000 people in here today have certainly had plenty of entertainment going on. The giant basketball in the crowd. They've just seen the crazy dunkers out there as well. And a little earlier there was the slam dunk competition. We'll give you a little taster of that, and we'll skip it straight through to the final. Here's a guy you know pretty well.
Name and right. Real bouncy, this guy.
Nice through the legs. He got a perfect score from the judges for that one, and he was up in the final against Mike Ballew's from local university. You like that? Through the legs?
Solid, yeah. Good opportunity for him. University guy gets in front of the big crowd.
Former Bullets legend Clive Allen milking his time there before giving it a 9. He tried this a couple of times, just squeezed it in.
I've seen him make that many times, Naaman. That's his move. That's his go-to dunk.
But because it kind of squeezed in, it hurt him a little bit in the scoring, and that meant it was open to the final one. And Ballou needed something spectacular here. That was exactly not bad, and he got 9s across the board. It left him just a little bit short, and therefore Naaman Wright won the slam dunk competition. So you'll have a happy guy going back to Leicester.
He's buying breakfast tomorrow morning. I saw him on the way out, happy to get the trophy. Naaman's an exciting young player, no question about it, and we've seen him rise up many times in games with some thunderous dunks. So congratulations to Naaman Wright.
So let's take a look back at the first half here. Some of the players to pull out. We talk a lot about the two Thomases for the Flyers. Gentry Thomas, we were talking off air about how they need to get him to be able to get to the basket like this a bit more in the second half.
Yeah, he's had a solid half, 10 points, real slippery getting to the basket. But maybe they can spread the floor out a little bit and try to attack Amir Williams that way outside, because when you get it inside him, you have to make a tough move like that to score. And Gentry Thomas is a guy that can score in numerous ways.
And you talk about Amir Williams and his presence at one end of the floor, and he certainly clogs up the paint, as you say, but at the other end of the floor, he's a handful down low as well.
No question, he's had a solid half, taken 9 shots, a 5 for 9 from the field for 10 points, banked one in from the top, but also showed some pretty good post moves here. And uses a little bit of quickness to get around him and score with the right hand. But yeah, he's been the story of the game for me. 10 points, 4 rebounds, 2 block shots, and really making it tough for Bristol to do anything down on the offensive end. And here getting a nice pass from Bachnet and finishing strong. He's all a 6'11", that Amir Williams, and a great way to end the half for the Wolves. Bachnet on the switch found Williams. And let's see what kind of stamina he has. I guess that's the question. You know, coming into the game, hadn't played much already. 16 minutes on the board. You know, was hurt for a while and missed some time. So let's see what he has, you know, the second half of the ball game. But certainly the first half, he's been the star of the show for me.
Well, that's definitely the question mark, isn't it? Because it's one thing to get back to a place where you can play. It's another thing to be able to play big minutes on an occasion like this, and he's played, as you say, 16 minutes already in the first half. And how is his conditioning given the limited opportunities he's had to play through injury in recent weeks?
Well, the first few minutes of the half are always important in any basketball game, but you like to think that it's important now for Coach Andres Kapoulis to get his Bristol team and get them in the scoring column. 25 points and a half, you would think that's not going to do it. They're going to have a much better half. They really struggled to shoot the ball. 9 for 33 from the field for 27%. And when you look over at Worcester, they haven't shot the lights out by any means. They've only been to the free throw line 3 times. But 43%, much better numbers than Bristol, and that's why they have the 9-point lead.
Well, if Bristol win this game with 50 points on the board, we're in for a defensive masterclass in the second half. So they're going to have to find some offense. And in the WBBL Cup final, I said to Siobhan Pryor, at this point it was an 8-point game, and I said the first 2 or 3 minutes hugely important. If one team can come out 6-0, 8-2, something like that, the scoreboard changes totally. And on that occasion the team in the lead did that and opened up a 20-point lead, and that's exactly what Worcester will be trying to do here.
Let's see what they run right out of the timeout here.
Bristol get us underway, looking to get off to a good start here in this third quarter. Thomas Edwards drives in, overcooks the finger roll, and an easy rebound for Williams, his 5th of the game. Edwards. Bouckner. Heavy jump stop in the lane, but can't make the shot.
Good look from Bouckner. He should have made that one 7 feet. Nice move to get there, just didn't finish.
Dozie, top of the key. Rebound Williams.
Dozie will get that shot anytime he wants. Samir Williams does not come out of the paint.
Edwards, nice bounce pass and a poor foul. Williams, that's either side of halftime. 2 really poor fouls to give him and ones.
Well, that was easy there for Amir Williams, right underneath the basket, but the play was made by Edwards. Not great defense from Bristol on the horn setup that they had. And Edwards calmly slid it into Williams for the deuce, and now a chance to give them a 12-point lead.
Well, Bristol, you sense, need a little run here just to get themselves back into shooting distance. And it's Thomas. The 2 Thomases are usually the ones who provide it. Dozie blocked but fouled by Williams. That's going to be his 2nd.
It was the way he swung at it. Ramir didn't think he made the contact. The referee said he hit him on the elbow. Let's see here. Good move from Dozie. Maybe got fouled there, and yeah, maybe coming across. Tough to see. Well, when you research these games and when you play these teams, you look at stats, and the stat that jumped off the page for me was Daniel Dozie, 89% from the free throw line.
Wow.
And I think he is a guy that when he first came into the league, you were instructing your bigs to foul him because he didn't shoot it well. But now he's worked on that, and it's a real strength of his game, close to 90% from the big guy.
Well, his career in the BBL is 66% from the free throw line, so obviously that will be boosted from those numbers this year. Great lob, and there's Williams to tip it in.
And that's been open tonight. They cheat on the screen on the baseline, and the way Amir stands underneath there, how tall he is. Good job by Bouckner to recognize that. Threw it right over the top for another easy deuce.
Thomas driving in. Williams trying to get the rebound. Away comes Edwards. Edwards still going. Edwards dancing his way, has it knocked loose. And it will be possession still for the Wolves. Dozie knocks that one loose. They'll try again from the other side of the basket.
Almost open there. Just a simple screen. Mir maybe come a little harder to that. He might have got another easy basket.
Bouckner. Thomas Edwards with the rebound. Thomas driving in. Out to Champion, knocked away from behind, and Bouckner had his hand up to admit to that foul.
Amir Williams with the hands on the shorts now. Looked a little fatigued over the last minute or so. Be interesting to see when he gets that rest in this half.
Well, with a 12-point lead, it gives you a little bit more option as a coach. A Dozy mid-range. Batted away and out of bounds. It'll be a Worcester ball.
Dozy wide open. Like I said, Mir just sitting off him, not playing him. Not able to knock it down.
Here's Edwards. Williams. Shot clock getting low, so he takes it. Wow. I don't know how you got him if he knocks that down.
Nah, too big. It's just shoot it right over the top. And that time he did a good job of being patient in order to get that good look.
Far and away the game's leading scorer with 17. Thomas had it knocked loose. Edwards trying to convince the referee that it was his ball, but he remained unmoved. Somebody throwing a paper airplane onto the playing surface, which is not a very good idea, I think it's fair to say. Given the explosiveness of the players, something slippy like that. Here's Delpesh flushing it down.
Nice job on the out-of-bounds play by Bristol. Wide open, good screen. Poor defense from Worcester that time to give up that deuce.
Edwards with the crossover loses the handle. Thomas Edwards to the glass. Brett Thomas with the rebound. For a second I thought that was coming out as well, but it did drop in the end.
A little noise coming now from the Bristol crowd. They sense they need this here. A little momentum coming their way. Coach Kapoulis gesturing to him to get it up and give his players some support.
Joseph. Foul call. Thomas Evans.
Kofi does a good job of selling that. Gets by him a little bit, draws the contact. Hesitation. Whoa.
Edwards sends a corner, attacks hard. And just a little change of pace gets them to the basket.
And they run that Spanish pick and roll, screen-to-screener action out of the side, out of bounds. They run that a lot. And that time, nobody guarded the ball, and Edwards took advantage of it for the two.
Still 12 points, the advantage. Thomas Edwards for 3 off the mark. Williams with the rebound. Flyers 1 of 10 from 3-point range. Josephs, he lets fly from deep, and that doesn't go. He struggled a little bit shooting 2 of 7, which combined with Boutnet 1 of 6. Two guys who can shoot the ball, not quite having the role today. Here's Delpesh inside, and he gets a bounce there.
Nice move from Delpesh. He's super strong. He had 2 people there that he went through for the deuce.
I suppose looking at the stats, probably the most surprising one of the lot is Jordan Williams. No points, only 2 shot attempts. He had a big game in the semifinal, of course. And here he is trying to get his, wow, radar way off on that one. You'd have liked to see some of them a few weeks ago, wouldn't you? Here's Champion. He knocks down the triple, and I just said they'd only made 1 of their first 10 attempts, but Lewis Champion gets 1 to go, and a timeout is called as the gap is down to 7.
Yeah, nice good pass back out to Champion. He's looked comfortable today. Good pass from Thomas. Short closeout, and Champion makes him pay. And the fans in red are making some noise, definitely. They sense that their team needs it now. And this is what these Cup finals are about, making these runs, taking advantage of the situation. Good timeout from Coach Newby. Does not want to let this lead slip away. Still with 4:25 left in the third quarter.
Well, basketball very much a game of runs, a momentum game, and the key is when you have the momentum to ride it as long as possible, and when you don't, to minimize the impact. Coach Newby here knows the other team has some momentum. He's trying to minimize the impact.
No doubt, and get themselves set. Maybe give Amir Williams a little rest here. They're going to come out with Raheem Thompson. And you talk about Jordan Williams, maybe with Amir on the floor, it's a little crowded in there for him. They have been sitting way off Amir, helping him. That's been one of his issues. And now at the 5, it'll be interesting to see if they go to him with more spacing on the floor with Raheem. Raheem's shooting the 3 pretty well this year. So Worcester has 4 guys that can space the floor. Maybe Jordan Williams gets him going because he's been a guy that's really done a good job on the offensive end all season long.
Well, May Thompson played 59 seconds in the first half, which was just long enough to pick up 2 fouls and head back to the bench. Can he have more of an impact here in the second? Here he is with his first shot attempt, and there you go.
Raheem, he plays the same way if there's 10,000 people here, if 10 people in the gym. Nothing rattles him. He'll be ready to go. Remember when he played for Cheshire a couple years back in the final, had a really good game.
Certainly did. Here's Thomas Edwards driving hard. Oh, not quite. It was a nice move underneath, but he just put a little too much on that. Stumble from Edwards. Diving after, he's going to get called for the foul as Taylor went down hard.
You see the ball pops out of his hands, and he looks to go get it. And upends Taylor, the hard fall in front of us over here.
Well, there was 9 points separating them at halftime. There remains 9 points separating them. It's 11 points apiece here in the third quarter. Bradley drives in. Nice finish past Jordan Williams.
Nice move from Bradley. Good job on the open side pick and roll. And he's a guy that can really put up numbers in a hurry.
Boughton kicks out to May Thompson. Almost loses it. Did they turn it over? Whose ball is it? Yes, it is a turnover. Flyers ball. Boughton looks at May Thompson and says, just shoot that. That's your shot. Take it.
Yeah, he likes to hit that foul line mid-range jumper. Tried to dump it into Jordan Williams, who was unable to do anything with it. And Williams still scoreless in this game.
Taylor to Delpesh. To the spin. And the hook. Great move from Delpesh.
Delpesh has come out this second half and looked confident. A couple good moves. That's 6 points for him on the night. 60% field goal shooter. So you know when he gets the opportunities, he converts.
5 points between them. A lot of noise now coming from those Flyers fans. Can their team build on it? They've got a chance to cut it yet further. Bradley forward to Taylor. Here's Thomas for 3. No. Well, that was a momentum shot, wasn't it? Make it a 2-point game before Williams comes back in. And it's Williams for Williams here.
And you've seen Fred Thomas make those. 36% three-point shooter. So he figured, let's give it a whirl. But now with Amir back in the game, maybe the Wolves will go to him in the post.
And they're certainly looking to. Fighting hard for the ball. Delpesh, the defender, double team, gets in his way, keeps it in bounds, but he throws it away, and here come the Flyers again. Wolves stuck on 40. 45, sorry. Oh, it's stolen away by Williams. Joseph. And the foul is called. .139 left in the third quarter. 40-45. The Wolves lead. They've led throughout. Their biggest lead was 14. Lobbed into Williams, and once again they find him underneath.
Same play, side out of bounds, Spanish pick and roll, screen to screener. That's twice that they didn't cover it. And coming into the game, Worcester does that a lot. You really have to pay attention to that because they'll burn you if you don't cover it the right way.
Taylor to Bradley. Down low to Delpech, shot clock ticking against him here. Spinning one way, then the other to the hook. Williams grabs yet another rebound, his 8th of the game, 17 points and 8 rebounds.
Same play.
Josephs, did that get deflected? Yes, it did.
And there was the same play that they ran on the side out of bounds. Kofi wide open from 3, but Amir wide open underneath the basket. Just a poor delivery. And that's something that Bristol has to do a better job of covering. Here you see the screen, and Kofi pops up wide open. Ooh, good deflection to save the deuce.
Well, defensively, as Hughes fires up, they couldn't have done that any worse because they left both guys open.
Yeah.
Here's Bradley. Oh, nice move. Thomas penetrates in, draws the contact, basket will count. He'll go to the line for a bonus.
In and out, it's tough to defend. You see all these guys that handle the ball a lot and make a lot of moves, but that simple in and out with this kind of, got him, was able to get his head down and get to the basket and draw the foul. Tough foul here on Edwards, but it's that little hesitation. Go.
Well, he's converted the three-point play. I love the little kid who brought his own whistle to make the call there in the crowd. It's a 4-point game. Flyers have been behind throughout. Can they get their noses in front? Here's Edwards. Slips slightly, left it short. Thomas with the rebound, 10 on the shot, 10 game clock. Bradley down to 5, puts it on the floor, stolen away. Barnick from the halfway line. No! Well, a good finish to the third quarter for the Bristol Flyers. They're chipping away and their fans applauding that, and well they might. The gap is down to 4 with 10 minutes to go.
That's much better from Bristol. 18 points on the board in that quarter, only 25 in the first half. So they came out, played better on the offensive end. And it'll be interesting to watch Amir Williams. Again, like I said, he definitely looks a little bit fatigued. And I think Bristol's done a pretty good job of taking advantage of that. But if you're Worcester, hey, hang in there. We know there's runs in this game. Hang tough still, long way to go. We're set up for a really good fourth quarter, Daniel.
Well, we certainly are, and these two coaches have their work cut out here in this fourth quarter. And if you were Matt Newby, what would you do with Amir Williams at the start of the fourth quarter? Give him an extra minute or two, or would you throw him straight back out?
It's hard to tell. You have to go by how your player feels. But yeah, I'd be a little concerned with him if you wanted him for the stretch run. But you need him now as well, too. You see the difference he makes on the floor. So maybe they'll try to get him a couple. It looks like he's going to come out here to start. Yeah, he will come out with Raheem at the 4. Where Williams has had such a big game for them, 19 points through 3 quarters. Only Wolves player in double figures.
And has 9 of them in that third quarter. Well, the possession arrow favors the Wolves. They are lined up and ready to go. Out from the huddle come the Flyers. Bristol looking for their first ever BBL title. The Wolves have won the playoffs and the trophy. They've never won this before. And that was in the direction of Williams and deflected away by Adozie.
Good job from Adozie, pushing Amir away from the basket. Even if he caught it, he was 16, 17 feet away.
Hughes. Foul called on the floor. Chris Taylor, the offender. Beat him on the jab. It wasn't even the step. Lobbed into Edwards. Hughes misses the three. Gentry Thomas coming the other way. Around the pick and roll with the Dozy. Loses the ball though. Williams comes away with it. Here's Edwards. Boutnet. Drops it off to Williams and he lays it in.
Great play from Bobnet. He's been steady and solid today. A great pass to Williams, who ran the floor for the easy deuce.
Well, he's not shot the ball very well, but he has got 7 assists to his name.
Force him right. That left hand is tough.
Blocked by Williams. Just coming in and throwing it out. His 4th block of the game.
We talked earlier about what Bristol did, Kevin Bristol did for London Lions last year in the paint to win the cup. Amir, a great performance so far today.
Ties the 2nd most in a cup final as the 3 doesn't go and he pulls in the rebound. Do you remember who got the most blocks in a final, Rob?
No.
Scott Martin, 2014. Newcastle against Leicester.
Scott Martin, rim protector. Again, they don't cover it right. Wide open.
And knocked down by Mark Hughes.
They've run that play 6 or 7 times in the second half, and every time they've got the open look.
Thomas driving through. Taylor with the step back. Whoa! What a shot!
Oh, a wry smile on Coach Kapoulis' face. That might have been no, 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 yes! Big shot there from Taylor. They needed it.
6 points between them, 8 minutes to play.
Same play.
Hughes, that's a push off. Just used his forearm to clear up some space.
Yeah, no doubt. When you saw the ref, he let us know what it was there. You see here, they run at him. He's got a good angle. Woo.
Three changes for Coach Kapoulis. As Thomas Edwards, Delpesh, and Fred Thomas check back into the game. Delpesh. Nice pass, and fouled by May Thompson, his 3rd.
Nice job there from Gentry. When you got a guy that can score like that, and he has the ability to read the game too and make these kind of passes, nice little slip play. And Delpesh has been strong in this half. All Raheem could do was foul him there. But again, now we go to the line and everything becomes important at the free throw line. When you look at Delpesh this year, he's 25 for 60 from the free throw line at 42%.
And you can see why.
And that might be the strategy late here with him anywhere around that basket.
He's 45%, 54% on his BBL career, and he goes 0 for 2 there. So a very good foul in the end from May Thompson, because that was a dunk. Even though it has sent him to the bench on 3. Williams trying to post up. Edwards trying to get it to him. But Delpesh stealing the ball away. Kicked out long to Thomas, who goes up. Well, I'm going to show my age here, like Lynn Swan.
Oh, love Lynn. Ballet in the air. That's what it reminded me of, too. Good call.
Couldn't quite pull it in.
79 Super Bowl.
He won a few.
Maybe it was another Super Bowl, right around in the 70s.
Yeah, it was late 70s, early 80s. Pittsburgh Steelers. Wide receiver. For anybody at home is going, who the heck is Lynn Swan? He used to jump up like that, but he'd pull it in one-handed. 7:25 to go. Worcester have led throughout, but you only need to lead a basketball game once. And that's when the buzzer sounds. So still Bristol coming. Edwards challenging well, but cleaned up inside by Thomas Edwards.
Well, Thomas Edwards, I said it before, he does not give up on the play. The ball was missed short, but he ran it down, grabbed it in his hands, and we got a ball game here.
Oh, that was almost a steal from Taylor in towards Williams, spins and hammers it down once again. Another big jam from the big man.
Well, you can't teach size, Daniel, and that size in the middle, no one could get up that high. Amir grabbed it out of the sky, turned and threw it down.
Taylor for three, off the mark.
And guess who?
Ball is loose, and eventually Bartnett comes away with it.
Good job there from Cortez to run it down and help, because Thomas Edwards got his hands on that one as well.
I think Williams turned and looked at that and thought it was too far away. He is blowing a bit here, but he's had such an important impact on the game. Bartnett, step back for three. There's Williams on the offensive glass now. 11 rebounds. That's his first one at the offensive end. 21 and 11. Edwards off the glass. Delpesh scoops it in. Thomas through the lane, held ball as Jordan Williams wrapped it up. That will stay with the Flyers.
Amir asking for, looked like he was asking for a sub there. There's a timeout.
And I think he just waved to the coach and said no as well. It's like a minute will do. A minute is what he's going to get here with a timeout called, 48-54 in favor of the Wolves. The question will be about, it feels like one of those games of the execution in the next couple of minutes is going to be the difference in this game. If the Wolves can hang on to this lead, maybe stretch it a point or two, and then you've got something to defend for the last 2 or 3 minutes, the Flyers need to come soon if they're coming.
Well, they have to feel good about themselves in this half. They definitely look much better, able to attack the basket a little bit. But now you come down and you need someone to really step up and make plays. Three-point shot hasn't really been a huge factor in the game today for Bristol. They're a team that can get explosive from behind that arc. And now would be maybe the time to knock a few of those threes down.
Well, neither team really made many. It's a combined 7 of 30 between the two sides from three-point range. And in the day and age of three-point being king, it hasn't been today. It's been post play. Back out come the two sides, including Amir Williams. Williams almost has half his team's points, by the way, 23 of the 54. Thomas Edwards. Fred Thomas. Fred Thomas driving in. Rearrange. Oh my goodness, what a shot from Fred Thomas.
With Amir coming over there, he had to hang in the air a little longer, and that's a big play.
Offensive foul on Jordan Williams for the illegal screen. And here come the Flyers again with their momentum.
And that was right in front of us here. He had his back to him. Let's see if he stuck the back out or not. It's always a tough one here. Tough angle.
Delpesh driving hard. Leaves it short. Pushing the back by Raphael Thomas Edwards. And Worcester, who would have got the rebound anyway, get the ball back. Jordan Williams. Out to Josephs. Josephs, pass deflected, but it gets to Edwards. Edwards and a big slap round from Lewis Champion, foul call.
And that was a gift for Bristol that foul was called, because you liked Cortez his chances attacking the basket. So now they take the ball out of bounds and set up their defense again.
Jordan Williams, 5 minutes ago in the final, still looking for his first points and finding them.
He looked up into the sky and said, hey, about time. Get him on that left hand. He's tough to stop.
He's only actually taken 4 shots. 6 points still between them. Just can't quite get over the hump here at Bristol, but there's still 5 minutes to do it. Gentry Thomas driving in hard, gets his own rebound, blocked again by Williams, and Thomas is going to be called for the foul. A 5th block from Amir Williams.
Wow, you know, you don't play great defense, you don't get the loose ball, but so what? Amir's here to save the day, and he's been here all game long. Anything around that rim is a challenge. And 5 blocks on the board, but so many changed throughout the day.
He goes past Charles Smith to outright second in terms of blocks in a cup final. Jordan Williams backing down. Bully ball for him. Well, you wait a long time for your first 2. And the second one comes on the next play.
Smart play from the Wolves. Good cutting away from the ball, too. They weren't able to dig down and help out. That's a good job from the rest of the guys to get him that opening.
Thomas Edwards for 3. Big shot. Raphael Thomas Edwards knocks down the triple and narrows the gap to 5 with 4 to play.
Well, he's only a 31% three-point shooter on the season, but he's not afraid to take them or not afraid to make them in the big spot.
Here he is again. Williams backing down, gets the spin. Oh, not quite. And it was out off Amir Williams last. It will be a Flyers ball.
And the difference there coming to the right hand for Jordan Williams. What an easy opportunity he had. You know, if you see it again right there, oh, couldn't make it. A lot of talking between Thomas Edwards and Jordan Williams down here. Good battle for those 2 guys today.
Fred Thomas for 3. Radar a little off on that one. Ball is bubbling about. It comes all the way out to Champion. Thomas thought about another one. Puts it on the floor to the runner and drops it in. And for the first time in a while, the gap is a single basket.
And they're up in red. They can sense it now. Ref Thomas Edwards made another nice play to keep that alive. Second chance points. Always huge this time of game.
Jordan Williams, Kofi Josephs drives in, gets a gap, and somehow finger rolls it in for 2.
Spinning English on that for Kofi Josephs. The Birmingham kid coming up big. Under 3 minutes to go.
All knocked away by Edwards, and it came off Champion, so it will be a Wolves ball.
And that's what Cortez Edwards does. He is a pest on the ball, off the ball. He does a good job there defending and making it tough to make that pass. And a key turnover with a 5-point lead here for Worcester. You get a bucket here, they can feel really good about themselves. Coming down the stretch. Gonna be a screen, try to get a screen away here for Williams on this side of the floor. Jordan go into him again.
There he is. Out to Edwards, big shot for 3, off the back of the iron, but Jordan Williams with the long rebound. Edwards has the lane, uses the basket well, and reverse lay-in for 2. Timeout is called by Coach Kapoulis with 2:25 to go. His team trail by 7.
Well, Edwards hasn't had his best game on the offense end of the night. Still has 11, but that time, excellent play from him. Goes up on one side and finishes on the other side of the basket. That's 2 layups in a row for Worcester that they've put the spin on it, and they've got it to go. Here he had the open look. Good job from Jordan Williams, offensive rebound. Get it to Cortez. Up this way and around that way with the left hand. Big-time finish from a big-time player.
Well, I think Champion had gone the other way, hoping for the fast break. Now that's why he had the room, and Coach Matt Newby, 2:25 to go on his birthday, trying to get some silverware. You're a January. Have you ever coached a cup final on your birthday?
I think it was day after, I believe, but right around that time, yeah. So, yeah, there's not much else you're thinking about. You're not thinking about birthdays at this time, you're thinking about getting your hands on that cup and the emotions that'll spill out afterward. And these are the times that you remember as a player and a coach. 2:25 to go, place rocking. Now who's going to step up? And this is what we pay to see. Still time for Bristol. Still time in this game. Need a bucket, you would think, here, but definitely have the firepower in the backcourt to score points in a hurry.
Well, you think some of the great cup finals on this floor, players making big plays in the last couple of minutes. Who will be that player here?
No Gentry Thomas out on the floor.
He is on 4 for the Flyers. Here's Taylor. Thomas. Fred Thomas driving in, creates some space. Tough one. Great offense. Oh, he's lost it. Dozie, the Flyers captain, right place, right time, but he just couldn't haul it in.
Yeah, he had his opportunity there, and you got to give him credit for getting there, but then you have to hold on. And now, defensive end of the floor, Gentry Thomas comes back in.
Well, they're just trying to protect him. Well, no, sorry, it'd be the other way around. It is strange, yeah. Here's Joseph around the high screen. Jordan Williams puts it on the floor into the hook. Foul is called. He will go to the line for 2 free throws.
And that foul was coming. A lot of contact there early. Ref let it go from Bradley. But you knew that if he made any more contact on that possession, he's talking to him now, that he was going to get the whistle. And just a big, big body in there, Williams, who's come up with some big buckets here late.
Well, 5 minutes to go in the game. He hasn't scored. He's trying to get points 5 and 6 here.
54% free throw shooter. So another one that struggles at the line.
And he is a guy you want on the floor late in the game as well. But he goes 1 of 2. Flyers now 100 seconds to find something here. They've been behind the whole game. Can they find a way in front? Bradley, huge shot for 3, in and out, rebound Edwards. And the Wolves are going to take some air out of the ball here. 24 seconds, as much of it as they can. They will run off for surely.
Make sure you get bodies back. Sorry, Dan. You gotta be careful.
The Wolves fans, you can hear as Edwards with the shot, rims out, rebound Thomas. We approach the final minute. Bradley underneath, all on his own, drops it in. And the gap is 6.
Talk about getting bodies back. They did not, and Bristol took advantage of it. Still like to see him play it out. Coach Kapula saying not to foul.
They try to get an all-important stop here. Joseph's all the way on, misses the layup. He did the hard work, he couldn't finish it off. Here's Taylor, down to Dozie. Dozie from the elbow, strings it! The Flyers captain with a big shot to make it a 4-point game.
Now you would think you'd have to try to get a steal and then maybe foul in the front court.
Oh, the shot clock's wrong. There's the foul. Well, they only put 14 on the shot clock, but it didn't matter as the foul came anyway. 29.7 on the clock. And that's the 5th and final foul on Gentry Thomas. And that's what guy you'd want the ball in the hands of in the last 30 seconds in this situation.
Yeah, a little disappointed. They fouled. Maybe could have trapped and got it out. Still 29 seconds to go. But now Hughes will go to the line, and he's a 75% free throw shooter on the season.
It's a little different in a place like this, at a time like this, on a day like this. He makes them both. 2 big free throws. It doesn't change the scenario. Flyers need to score twice without reply, but now they need 2 threes.
And that was a timeout by the Flyers, which means they have 0 remaining. Is that accurate?
That's correct. But it does mean they get to advance the ball on this play, and you have that situation of when might you need to advance the ball, now or in 15 seconds time maybe? You've got to take it when you take it.
Yeah, I mean, each coach does it differently. You know, you could look at it as race it up the floor, get a quick 3 foul, and then have the timeout later. Or it puts a lot of pressure on this basket, I'll tell you that. You're going to need to make this shot. And, you know, now you got to dig deep and try to find something that could get you a open 3-point shot. You would think that that's where you have to go. We'll see. Still some time and still free throws to be shot.
But in terms of the game situation here, if you've got a quick 2, that would be preferable to a 10-second 3-point shot.
Yeah, that, you know, if it's offered there and you attack it, you can take it, because, yeah, we still have 30 seconds to go. The worry for me is the lack of timeouts as we come down to the end, because you always like to have that one in your bag with 2 seconds left that you could call timeout after a free throw. So it puts a lot of pressure here on this basket, but Bristol hasn't quit today. You know, coming out of halftime, a little bit worried. Worcester took the lead. But Bristol has fought back and made this a close contest in the 4th quarter. So let's see what they have out of the timeout here.
Taylor it is to inbound. They have to score here, Bristol. They simply have to score. It's lobbed up and out of bounds. I don't think it touched anybody, did it? They tried to run the out-of-bounds alley-oop to Fred Thomas, but they overthrew it. And it's straight out of bounds, so they will be sidelined from where the ball was tossed.
Well, we had a good look at this from here. It's direct down our line. And with Amir Thomas down there, it's going to be tough to throw a lob standing that tall around the basket.
Well, foul obviously had to come there, and Kofi Josephs will go to the free throw line for the first time today.
83% free throw shooter.
And that one moves it to 3 possessions now the Flyers need. And he waves to the fans, and they're enjoying it. They know they are close. They are all on their feet behind the Worcester bench. And they go up once again as the Wolves are on the brink here. Fred Thomas drives in. This has to go in, and it doesn't. And Williams pulls in the rebound, and the Worcester Wolves are seconds away. 16 of them. Well, Amir Williams, 13 rebounds. He's 1 rebound away from tying that record as well. And the Flyers are going to let them run it out here. They just got across midcourt, and the Worcester Wolves are going to dribble it out. And they've won the trophy before. They've won the playoffs before. And now, for the first time in their history, the Worcester Wolves have won the BBL Cup. And they come on to court to celebrate. They led from start to finish. It wasn't easy, but they got there. And they've beaten the Flyers 67 points to 59.
Wow, incredible game from Amir Williams. He dominated from start to finish. But that Worcester Wolves defense was solid when they had to be. Great performance in the first half from them. They were the better team tonight, Daniel. They, you know, as you said, led it from start to finish, but had to hang on. And I thought everybody contributed for them today that played. You know, they got a good effort from everybody. Worcester Wolves certainly are the team that deserves to win that one today. They came to play from start to finish.
Well, the interesting thing is, if you look at it from a Wolves perspective, Patton didn't shoot the ball that well. Josephs didn't shoot the ball that well. Jordan Williams, a little quiet by his normal standards, but they did what they had to do, and they found where it was. And as you say, Amir Williams, we don't know who the MVP is going to be, but you look at the numbers and there can only be one.
Yeah, no doubt. 34% shooting from the Flyers. That's the game there. And when you look at it, the Wolves have good perimeter defenders. And again, Amir Williams in the back. And we talked about it before. I was talking to Coach McCauley, Vince McCauley, about Bristol from his team last year and how in these type of games that big man can dominate in many ways. And I thought we saw that today.
Well, heartbreak for the Flyers as the Wolves celebrate on court and applaud their fans. And these are the moments, as you say, you've been there at both ends of the floor. These are the moments when you're that victorious team. These are the ones you remember when you look back over your career.
Yeah, no question about it. What a moment for Coach Newby, first year at Wolves. We always knew the Wolves were a good organization, great fan support, really invest in their team. Coach Newby came in this year, and they've had a solid start to the season, but in cup competition, they were the best, no doubt. You know, they beat us in the 2 legs, played really well, and they came here today ready to go with a guy, Amir Williams, who hadn't played in a while, but came here ready to go to get the silverware and bring it back to Worcester.
Well, the Flyers will be disappointed as the hats come out, but of course they've still got another chance at getting to a final in the semi-final of the trophy, and it's one of those things where you learn from this experience and then try and go on and build from it.
Yeah, it definitely will make you a better team, no question. You come here and you look back on it, you didn't win, but that doesn't matter now. It hurts now to sit across and watch the other team dance around because you know you had an opportunity. But like you said, Bristol in good position in other competitions, have a really talented team, no doubt about it, but today wasn't their day.
It certainly wasn't, but down courtside, 2 men very happy with life or with Vince.
Coach Matt, tremendous result. You set out your stall early right from the beginning and held that comeback. What does this mean for the organization, Coach?
It's a huge one for the management. It's a huge one for me personally, but it's a massive one for the players. They're a young group. I think they're the youngest group in the BBL this year. And it's just a big statement, and the competition's been good, and the new format's been interesting and very challenging, but it's exciting times for the program.
Okay, talking about players, I'm going to go to the big man, the MVP, Amir Williams. A couple of months into your BBL career, you're in front of 9,000 people winning the trophy. Did you think that was what was going to happen?
I didn't know what was going to happen. I just know if I came in and trusted the coach's game plan and played my game, played as hard as I can, and fit in with the team, we can accomplish anything. So today was the first step, but we want a lot more than this. We're going to enjoy it, but later on down the line, we want to collect more.
Excellent. Coach, you said for you personally, after the situation at Leeds, after the Worcester organization, last year wasn't great. For you personally, what does this mean?
It's just a massive one, It was nice to get a shot at it again. I really enjoyed being in the BBL the last time, and for me personally, my family and these guys and their family, it's a huge event.
Well, you go ahead and enjoy yourselves. You voted. Well done. Worcester Wolves. Well done.
Well, double celebrations for Coach Newby. On his birthday, he will always have the happy memory of having now won his first BBL title every year. He'll remember it on his birthday.
No question, and I think that this organization, like I said, you go to their games in Worcester on a Friday night, and they have such great fan support. And you look around the place today, and there's Wolves shirts everywhere. So this was coming for them. I know they had a rough patch a little bit last year, but you knew the way that their organization invests in their team and the kind of support that they get, that they would get these kind of opportunities, and they capitalized on that today.
Well, they certainly did, and it'll be a pleasant journey for part of the M5. The other half of the M5 will be less so for those Bristol Flyers fans who've come out in their great number here on what was a historic day for them, but unfortunately it didn't have the happy ending that they came here hoping to see. But as I say, semi-final coming up in the trophy, they will have a chance to come again this season, and that's the thing when you've been in this situation, is how you can use it as a motivator to get back.
Especially the cup, it's so early in the season, there's still competitions to go, so yeah, you got to use that as motivation, and you got to use this experience going forward. And like you said, they're a semi-final away from being up in Glasgow to play in another trophy final, but it hurts. It definitely hurts when you're on that side. You have to take your medicine and come back stronger.
And it's one of those things is you'd kind of like to just go off into the locker room and get it done with, rather than having to stand there and watch the other team dancing and celebrating with their hats on at the other end. And they just want to get these medals and get out of here.
No question. And we'll see what they do with those medals, those runners-up medals.
Do you have yours?
I have them, yeah. Yeah, I don't know if I can find them, but I have them.
Well, they could never quite get back over the hump. They got behind early on. They trailed for the entire game. They never led. They did get 14 down, and they just kept getting it back to 4, 5, 6 points, but couldn't quite get over the hump.
When you go 19 for 48 from the field in a final at 34%, you probably know that's not going to be enough. And then the three-point line, you know, really hurt them today as well.
4 of 19.
4 of 19. So, you know, that shooting display, you need guys to step up and make shots. You know, you could have the greatest game plan in the world. You could be prepared, but you need that ball to go in the basket somehow. And for them, that was the issue today, especially for a team that over the last few weeks has really been putting the points on the board. But, yeah, a lot of credit has to go to Worcester and their defense, you know, that was able to hold them to that number.
Well, they've gone down and shake the hands of all of their opponents as well, as the coaching staff head their way up to that. And Coach Kapula said, you know, he's had his moments in finals in the lower divisions where it's not been his day. He'll know how to respond from this.
Oh yeah, he'll know. It'll hurt for a couple days, but with the BBL, you know, you come right back and there's a lot of games to be played. Still got a lot of games in the league. I think they've only played 5 league games so far, so still probably around 15 or so to go. So a lot of work to be done for that team. But you know, when you go down to Bristol as well, great fan support, great energy from them. 2 clubs that certainly support their team.
Well, great energy from the Wolves players and Wolves fans right now, because this is the moment they've been enjoying. And Vince said MVP. It's not been official yet, but it would need a steward's inquiry if he's not the MVP.
Well, we've done a lot of these, Daniel, and you know, from the beginning, I think we had our eyes on him as a potential MVP player, and he didn't disappoint. But I liked what Hughes gave him today. I liked what Balknick gave him today. Cortez always bringing it every day. So that, you know, Amir is going to get the MVP probably, but they've been a real team that has played together well this year. They've had a lot of injuries, so when guys have been down, they all have stepped up.
The other thing about Edwards, we were talking with Vince before the game about the job Kevin Bristol did in the final last year, blocking shots and changing shots. He did a lot of that here today, Williams as well. We talk about his 23 points and 13 rebounds, but the 5 blocks and the intimidation and the filling the space.
Yeah, when you're down here on the floor watching these guys play, you know, you're always amazed how big they are, first of all. But when you look and see him, he's a lot bigger than everybody else. And when they drove to the basket today, I saw a lot of times where they had to turn around and come back out. And that doesn't go on the stat sheet. But when you watch the game from this level, you can see that what an impact he makes. And Coach Newby with the hat on is 15 years younger with that hat on.
There we go. Well, rocking the baseball cap and the shirt and tie, but what a day for him. Happy birthday, Matt Newby. Well, 2 presentations to go. That I know Simon Hosanna will give it the big build up here, but I'm pretty sure everybody in the building knows what the announcement is going to be for the most valuable player.
5 blocked shots, 13 rebounds, 23 double points.
Well, no surprise with an index rating of 36. He was a block away and a rebound away from tying the cup records, but far and away the biggest player in this game. 23 points, 13 rebounds, 5 blocks. An easy pick for MVP.
Yeah, and when you look at his pedigree, it's not a surprise. Playing in the Big Ten Conference in the USA for Ohio State. Excellent program, had an excellent career there. So you knew he had that talent, but what's been so impressive is the way he carries himself. And then when the lights are on, you know, you can have all the pedigree in the world, but when they turn those lights on in the big games, those big-time players step up, and he was that and then some today.
Well, it's been 6 years in the coming since they had that double success with Zaire Taylor and Alex Awumi and all the rest of them. But today is very much the Worcester Wolves day once again, as their captain Martin Balknick goes up to receive the trophy from the chairman. He poses for the pictures and holds it aloft, and the 2020 BBL Cup champions are the Worcester Wolves. goes in to celebrate with his team as the ticker tape flies, and they all get a hand on it, and they thoroughly deserved it today. Cup champions, Worcester Wolves. And a great moment for those Worcester fans. As I say, when they won the double, you thought it could be the beginning of something. It's taken them 6 years to get back here, but they are on top right now with the first piece of silverware in the cabinet for 2020. And these are the pictures you will see very shortly on social media, I've no doubt about it, from all the jubilant Wolves fans and players. And they will party long into the night, I'm sure, and really enjoy this success. Well, there's Mick Donovan, who gets in with the trophy as well. And a great day for the Worcester Wolves club and organisation, and thoroughly deserved on today's performance. From opening tip to final buzzer, they always look the more likely.
Yeah, no question. And I thought that on the defensive end is where it was at for them. You know, you said to me, you look at their some of their guys' numbers, and you wouldn't expect them to win if they did that. But that's where the defense comes in. And when you get to a final and you hold somebody to 59, I think it feels even more sweeter because you did it together, you did it tough, and that defensive performance got them the silverware.
Well, the party starts now in Worcester. The Wolves are the BBL Cup champions. For Rob Paternoster, I'm Daniel Routledge. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll see you again soon. Goodbye.